What's poppin', everyone? I'm Don Ferguson and welcome to the Teeqlife Basement Bar for another badass, incredible episode of something new. If you're new to the Teeqlife platform, it's where we taste, try, and review spirit brands from all over the world from a consumer point of view, because the consumers drive the business. They're the ones that matter. Now, before we do an unboxing, it's gotta be good if it's in a fancy cardboard box with some copper foil. I've never seen the copper foil before, but check out our digital media partners, Tequila and Spirits Magazine, where you can get a free magazine subscription in your email, and go over to Instagram, #FindTheBird. What are we trying today? Well, let's just grab a box and find out. Look at that, people. Oh, wait a minute. This is probably going to be very new for a lot of you. It's a mezcal, but what type of mezcal? Zignum. But what else is interesting? Well, you're going to have to find out by watching this episode. Boom! So before we do an unboxing like those 5-year-old billionaire kids on YouTube, we're gonna talk about this brand. What are we trying today though? This is something extremely new for the platform. Some people might not even know that this type of expression exists. So without any further ado, we are trying Zignum Mezcal. But this is an Anejo Mezcal. This is an aged mezcal. Did you even know that they made such a thing? Yes, you did, because you are a valued subscriber to the Teeqlife YouTube channel, right? Subscribe. Before I put my hands in this box and pull out, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about Zignum Mezcal. You may not have heard of it before, relatively new. I actually got it from Mexico, so I have a couple of connections. Not gonna blow up those connections, but I'm sure you got your connections as well. This is NAM 050X. It's 100% Espadin Agave. Now, because it is an añejo, that means it's aged. What is it aged in? It is aged 18 months in brand spanking new French oak barrels. So French oak has a little bit of sweetness to it. We're gonna see if this is sweet. I'm not used to a sweet mezcal. I'm just gonna tell you right off the bat. The production of this mezcal comes from the largest distillery in Oaxaca. Yes, I'd love to take a tour. I didn't take a tour, but if they would like to invite me, I would love to come see and drink up about 1,000 gallons of your mezcal. Zignum. What does it mean? Well, it actually means tip of the spear. Now, I don't know if that's an ode back to, the Aztecs, kind of where mezcal came from, but really it was pulque. So pulque and then mezcal and then tequila, like that's kind of the evolution as far as what I know. That's all I read, in books is pulque, mezcal, tequila. In doing my painstaking hours of research about this brand, it is an eco-friendly brand. So at the distillery, they have a very eco-friendly forward mindset, from field to barrel to bottle. So a lot of the things which we're going to talk about in a second, what they're doing at this distillery is quite extraordinary and a little bit revolutionary. Their ideology is to leave the lowest possible environmental impact. They cook the agave. Now this is going to blow your mind because this is mezcal. And for all you kids following at home, mezcal is typically, the agave is roasted in pits that are stone lined, then it's covered and it keeps that smoke in. That's why it's like drinking an ashtray when you get a shitty one. But when you get a good one, it's very balanced, just sweet and fruities. But this is cooked in an autoclave. So if you don't know what an autoclave is, it's like a high pressured oven that cooks the agave very fast. Now it's not trapping that smoke in, so it's going to not be as smoky. So that's what they say. We'll be the judge of that, right? How do they get their agave? How do they grow the agave? Well, they cultivate the agave from seeds in their own greenhouse. So they're not getting the little bulbs from somewhere else. They're actually doing it all on the grounds, which is very, very, I wouldn't say unique, but there's not a lot of brands that actually do that. Now, we talked about their eco footprint. Now, it operates its own wastewater treatment facility for the entire distillery. They reuse that water for watering the agave, for different things around the grounds. And they also collect rainwater. Now, I don't know if they use that collected rainwater in the process like Felipe Camarena with G4 tequila, which you can really pick it up on the Blanco. You can pick that rainwater up on their Blanco tequila, but I don't know if they're doing that. The other cool thing is they use solar panels, and the solar is used for their heating needs around the grounds. Last but not least, before we put our hands in this box and get to feeling what's good inside of it, they have a Joven, a Reposado, an Añejo, and a Cristalino Mezcal? Have you ever heard of a Cristalino Mezcal? They're doing some wild, wacky shit over there at Zignum. So let's just move the camera over here, pull it out, and get to tasting right here. I got my glass. We're gonna move little head over here. I'm gonna put that right there. Boom. And let's just, you ready for the unboxing? Man, it feels like a present. What did I get? Woo! Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Wow. Let's talk about packaging and the bottle. I mean, you know, another box. It stands out. It makes it look good. You think high price, high quality anytime you see a box on the shelf. I mean, the great illustrations, you know, agave, you got the looks like the hacienda. There's a spear on it. There is some stuff in Spanish, and I don't know what that is. One thing that I failed to mention, that this is 80 proof. Now, I know mezcals can get quite up there. I've had some 100 proof, and I think I had a 102 proof mezcal at one time. That was a good night. I'm surprised I didn't get arrested. Well, since I can't read Spanish, we're gonna do what we do with most of our boxes. That's exactly where it was meant to go. Let's talk about the bottle. Ooh, you know what? This is an añejo. It has to breathe. Oh, so it's a fancy screw cap. Look at, woohoo! Look at that. They spared no expense on this bit. It all went into the box, right? Look at, yeah. Oh, that's, see, I love to see that plastic ring just kind of come off. But yeah, it looks like they spared no expense, and yep, we're gonna, oh, look at that hefty pour. Look at that. Isn't that's beautiful. Look at, that's just a regular Thursday night. It's Friday Eve in my house. Oh, I smell it. I'm gonna save it. I can't talk about it, but let's talk about the bottle. It is very nice. It's very elegant. I like the black and the copper. It really stands out, and the copper actually matches extremely well with the color of the juice. And if you didn't know, tequila, mezcal, even, you know, people that drink whiskey or bourbon, we call it juice, but it's really not juice. So if your kids over here juice and then they grab the bottle and just starts chugging, that's your fault. You should educate them, right? Last but not least about the bottle, kind of pretty much like the box, and it is all in Spanish. So we're just gonna put that sucker right there. It's gonna chill. But man, I am picking up. This is really interesting. It's kind of fucking crazy because the aroma that is filling this little airspace right now smells like a rum. I'm not even joking. It smells like a rum, and I really wasn't expecting that. So I'm kind of thrown off right now, but let's just move forward because maybe I got a cold, maybe it's rhinitis, maybe I got some other things going on. I don't know. It was a good night last night. So we are going to now look at color. Look at that. it reminds me of like a whiskey or a bourbon. I mean, it really has that nice golden color. I mean, it could be a barrel-aged rum, but it's just got a nice, like, kind of light copper look to it. Really nice. Look at that, sun shining in on it. We're doing it indoors, but you know, the UV light that we spared no expense for, it's looking pretty good. Let's just go in, like I said about the nosing, and I've already been picking up some stuff, and it's really completely throwing me off because it is super crazy. I'm getting a banana. I'm really getting some fruit tones, and it's almost like a banana. Okay, so definitely got some wood tones to it. Not smoky at all. I mean, that's crazy. I have yet to try a mezcal that had no smoke to it whatsoever. This is really crazy. But yeah, I was getting some sweet tones, so I am getting some sweetness to it. More or less like a caramel, and some of those French oak barrel tones as well. You're getting some fresh wood. But man, you know, not much ethanol, so you're not getting a lot of alcohol vapors. The legs are just trickling down. It's really nice. They're just cascading, you know, in a nice little silhouette. But I'm telling you, this is really, I'm getting some maple syrup. Anyway, I'm blown away. I'm a little perplexed, and I'm confused because this is a mezcal, but it's an añejo. So let's go in one. Okay, first one coats the palate, and I typically don't talk too much about it, but I'm just gonna, right off the rip, if you gave me that, I would have thought this is a rum, maybe like Brugal, which is a little dry, a little oaky, you know, you get some dried fruit, something like that. And you told me that it was a mezcal afterwards, slap your mama, because you are not telling the truth. I'm confused right now. Round two. Let's see what we got going on now. Let's get deeper into it. So it's rather smooth. Little bit of spice, a little bit of heat, you know, kicking down, but nothing, you know, to scream murder about whatsoever. Picking up some light maple syrup, a little bit of coffee. You know, not a lot. I'm not a coffee drinker, but it's like a hint of coffee. I've had some rum before that was like finished. I don't know what they did with it, and it had like a slight coffee hint on the back end of it. Picking up some caramel, whatever. It's not smoky at all. Like, so if you, God, I'd want to say it's a mezcal, but it tastes more like an añejo tequila. Honestly, it really tastes a lot like tequila. Close to like a Herradura or a Don Julio. I'm really confused right now because it's just not. I've tried hundreds, if not thousands of mezcals. Okay, hundreds, but I haven't had anything like this. This is just so unique. So third time is an absolute charm, but we'll find out if it is. So a little bit of sweetness, maple syrup, a little bit. Not really picking up much agave. This is definitely not a traditional mezcal by any means. And I know they won like a platinum award. I don't know if this one won the platinum, but one of them in their family won a platinum. But it tastes more like an aged tequila, or maybe even a rum, not an overly sweet rum, not a spiced rum, but like, you know, maybe like a Brugal, or, you know, a Grander, something like that. It has some whiskey properties to it. It's relatively smooth, but I don't know, like it almost tastes a little watery, so there's not a lot of depth in it, you know, to it. So as I was picking up aromas of dried fruit or a banana, I'm not getting anything like that. It's just very unique and different. I mean, not at all what I was expecting. And so now that I'm getting real deep down into it and I've had some flavors hit my tongue, I'll tell you, I can pick up, I mean, just the faintest amount of smoke, but it's just, there's something about it. I just don't know if it's natural. Something seems artificial. And I never knock brands, you know, I really try not to, but something just doesn't seem right. And this isn't what I quite expected. And I've had some aged mezcals before, and it's never been nothing like this. This just doesn't really even taste like it's in the mezcal family to me. Well, folks, not what I expected. It's definitely not Teeqlife approved. You know, this is something that I'll sip on when I kind of want to do something different. Would I run out and buy it? Probably not. Would I try it or take a bottle from my friend's pantry? Absolutely, because it stands out, it looks pretty good, but you can make some cocktails with it, absolutely. But for me, it really tastes more or less like a tequila than it does a mezcal. So we are down to we got a little bit more to go, but that's okay. It's not going to waste. Trust me. All you people out there that are kind of getting heavy, don't worry. We're going to drink it. So that wraps up another episode of Something New here in the Teeqlife Basement Bar, where we tried Zignum Anejo Mezcal. Is that a review? Anyway, if you want to see what's coming up on episodes in the future, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're going to be tagging all the brands we got coming up in future episodes. If you have some swag that you want me to wear, like this Dope Water t-shirt, Dope AF, you even know what that means? Hit that email, send it to me. I will be glad to wear anything that is sent my way. Life's too short to drink bad liquor, but maybe sometimes you just gotta finish bad liquor. Anyway, we'll see you on the next episode. Salud. That means cheers.